So we were studying our chapter 12, depreciation, and in our previous class we have seen one question related to straight line method. How to solve a question of straight line method if information of 4 to 5 years is given, right? But in that class we have seen the purchase of asset as well as sale of asset. But in that question, the asset which was sold was completely sold. In today's class, we will see a portion of straight line method in which the complete machinery will not be sold, but a part of that machinery will be replaced or sold, right? Okay. So the way of preparation of account is same the way we were preparing or we have prepared in our last class. Okay, the only thing is related to calculation. So let's see what is the difference in this question. Okay, so it is given in the question. The question that we are going to see today is question number 9 on page number 12.62. So it is given in the question that on 1st April 2020, plant and machinery was purchased for rupees 1,20,000. So on 1st April 2010, we are purchasing a machinery for 1,20,000. So here we will write the date of the purchase, which is given in the question as 1st April 2010. So here on 1st April 2010, we are purchasing a machinery of the value of 1,20,000. After writing the first transaction, the second thing that we see in any question is for how many years we need to prepare the account and what is the date of closing or the date of ending accounting. Okay. So in the end, if you can see, it is given that prepare plant and machinery account for 3 years after providing depreciation at 10% on the straight line method, and account are closed on 31st March every year. So we need to prepare accounting for 3 years and our books are closed on 31st March every year. So in that case, first we will do what? We will split the line of that machinery into 3 parts. First year will end on 31st March 2011. Second year will end on 31st March 2012. And the third year will end on 31st March 30. Now we can easily put the data on this line. Okay. So let's see what further information is given. So it is given that new machinery was purchased on 1st October 2010 for 50,000. So on 1st October 10 will fall in the first year itself. So we will write here 1st October 2010. And we are purchasing a machinery of the value of 50,000. We will write all the purchases above the line and all the sales below the line, which will help us to identify the nature of transaction without writing the word purchase or sale on the line. Okay, right. Then the next transaction is and on 1st July 2011 for 25,000. So we are again purchasing a machinery, but this time on 1st July 2011, and the value of machinery is 25,000 rupees. Okay, no confusion. Then it is given that on 1st January 2013, so 1st January 13, so January 13 will be between this third year, and that will be somewhere here. Let's suppose 1st January 2013. So let's see what is happening on 1st January 2013. So it is given on 1st January 2013, a machinery of the original value of 20,000, which was included in the machinery purchase on 1st April 2010, was sold for 6,000. So it is saying that on 1st January we are selling a machinery, and the original value of machinery was 20,000, means the value at the time of purchasing the machinery was 20,000, but we are selling this machinery for a price of 6,000, and this original value of 20,000 is included in the machinery purchased on 1st April 10. That means this one. So we can say that on this date 1st January, we are not selling the first machinery as a whole, but we are selling a part of that machinery, that first machinery, which was having a original cost of 20. Means from this 1,20,000 part which was having a cost of 20,000 is sold on 1st January. No confusion? Okay. Then what further information is there? So prepare plant and machinery for 3 years after providing depreciation at 10% on a straight line method. So this is the all information given in the question. We have to prepare the plant and machinery account. Okay, and for 3 years. So let's record. On 1st April 2010, we can write here 1st April 2010. We are purchasing a machinery, so write what to bank account, and the value of purchase is 1,20,000. So we can write here as 1,20,000. Now in this year, there is one more transaction on 1st October 2010. Again, we are purchasing a machinery of 50,000. So write here 1st October 2010, and again we will write what to bank account, and this time purchase is how much? 50,000. So that is also now in this year there is no further transaction. So on 31st March 11 we will do what? We will charge depreciation, and we will write what? By depreciation account. Now as we are having two machinery, we need to show the depreciation individually for both machinery, so that this will help us to find the closing balance for each machinery separately, which will ultimately help us to find the profit or loss on sale. So depreciation is given in the question at 10% per annum on a straight line method. In this method, depreciation will be same every year. But in the year of purchase and in the year of sale, depreciation will be calculated only for that period for which you used that particular machine. So in the first year, the first machine is used for the whole year. So on 1,20,000 depreciation will be total 12,000 for first machine. For second machine, 10% will be 5,000 only. But we purchase on 1st October. So October, November, December, and January, February, March. So if the for year it is 5,000, so for 6 months that will be 2,500, and the total depreciation will be 14,500. Okay. We have calculated the depreciation. Now on the same day, we can close the account and we can find the closing balance by writing by balance CD. Now finding closing balance is very easy. All we have to do is deduct the respective depreciation from their cost. So the first machine was having a cost of 120 and depreciation charge is 12,000. So current value will be 1,08,000 plus second machine is 50,000 minus 2,500 will be 47,500. Now this side total will be 1,70,000. So total of credit side should also be 170. Now we can find the balance sheet either by deducting that 14,500 from this 170, or we can add these two values to find that also. Okay. So this will be 170 minus 14,500. So this will be 1,55,500. Okay, right. So now we will carry forward this balance in the next year as opening balance. Now we are standing here on this day, 1st April 11. If we see from 1st April 11 to 31st March 12, we are having only one transaction, and that is happening on 1st July 11 of purchase. So at the time of purchase, we will write on the debit side 1st July 2011, that is purchase. We will write what to bank account, and the value of purchase is 25,000. We have written the purchase, and now there is no further transaction in this year. So on 31st March 12, we will do what? We will charge depreciation. Okay. And we are following the straight line method, so depreciation will be same for every year. But this time, this year, we are having now three machines, first, second, and third, which we purchased this year. So we have to charge depreciation on all the three machineries. So on first machinery, depreciation will be same, 1,20,000, 10% will be 12,000, plus 50,000, 10% will be 5,000, and plus 25,000 10% will be 2,500. But as we have purchased this machinery on 1st July, so we'll charge depreciation from July to March. That will leads us to 9 months of information. Okay. So we will charge depreciation for 9 months only. So if 2500 is for whole month, so 9 months will be 9 by 12. So this depreciation will be 1875 rupees, and we can total these to find the total depreciation. So that will be 18,875 of total depreciation. Okay. Now as we have calculated the depreciation for all the machinery, we will do what? We will close the accounts and we will find what? Closing balance. Okay. So write here 31st March 2012. Write what? By balance carried out. Okay. And finding the closing balance is again very easy. All we have to do is deduct this depreciation from the opening value or purchase price which we are having. Okay. So 1,08,000 minus 12,000 will be 96,000 for first machinery. 47,500 minus 5,000 will be 42,500. And 25,000 minus 1,875 will be 23,125 rupees. So we got the closing balance of all the machinery, and we can find the total also. It will be 1,80,500. So this side should also be 1,80,500. And what will be the closing balance? We can deduct and find. We got the closing value of 1,61,625. We will carry forward this balance in the next year on 1st April 12 as two balance brought down. Now we are standing at this point 1st April 2012, and if you see from 1st April 2012 to 31st March 2013, there is only one transaction that is happening on 1st January 30, and that is sale. In case of sale, we will write buy them. But what I told you in the previous class, that if you are selling any asset and you are selling that asset during the year, means in between the year, in that case what you will do? Firstly, you will charge the depreciation on that machinery which you are selling for that period for which you use that machinery in this year. We are selling a machinery which was having a original cost of 20,000. So we charge depreciation not on the complete machinery of first machinery, complete value of first machinery, but only on that part of that first machinery which we are selling. And we use that machinery from 1st April to 1st January. So that will be 9 months. So we have to charge depreciation for 9 months. So we'll charge depreciation at the time of sale on 1st January 30. And write what? By depreciation. But we will charge depreciation only on the asset sold. And we are selling the machinery which was having a original cost of 20,000. In a straight line method, depreciation will always be calculated on the original cost. And the original cost is 20,000. So 10% of 20,000 will be 2,000. But 2,000 is for the whole year, and we need for 9 months only. So 2,000 into 9 by 12 will be 1,500. So we got the depreciation. So you need to remember always that if you are selling the asset in between the year, so before selling the asset, firstly you need to charge depreciation on that asset only which you are selling in between the year, right? Okay. After charging the depreciation, now we can sell the asset. So we are selling right what? By bank account. And we are selling for a price of 6,000. So right by bank 6,000. Whenever we will sell any asset, we will sell either at profit or loss. So how we can find the profit or loss? That's very easy. We need to compare the sale price with the present value, the current value of that particular asset. How we can find? That's easy. We are knowing the value of complete machinery of 120. See one thing. Here we are having 3 opening value of first April. Okay, and that part which we are selling is included in this one, 96,000. So one thing that we can do is, if the 96,000 is current value of the machine which was having our original cost of 120, So what will be the value on 1st April of that machinery which is having a original cost of 20,000? Getting my point or not? Okay, so that will be 16,000 rupees. So we found this one, that on 1st April 2012 we were having the opening value of machinery which we are selling as 16,000 rupees, but we cannot compare 16,000 with the sale price of 6,000 to find profit or loss. That says 6,000 is the sale price, but the value was 16,000, so 10,000 is loss. No, that will be wrong. Why? Because if you are selling the machinery on 1st January, you need to compare the sale price with the value on that day. And this 16,000 is the value of 1st April. That is the reason we have calculated depreciation from 1st April 12 to 1st January 13. So, if we have charged a depreciation of 1,500 more in these 9 months, so current value will be 16,000 minus depreciation for this period, and that will be 14,500. Now we are knowing that the asset we sold or the part we sold is having a value of 14,500 at the time of sale, right? So the value at the time of sale was 14,500, but we sold that for a price of 6,000. That means we suffered some loss. And what is that loss? 14,500 minus 6,000. So that will be 8,500. So this is the loss on sale. This way we can find the loss on sale, right? So we'll write what? By profit and loss account on the same date, 1st January 13. Now we have done everything. In this year there is no further transaction, so we will do what? We will close our accounts. But before closing the accounts, we will charge depreciation on 31st March 13 on the remaining machines. Okay, and how many machines we are having? Still we are having 3 machinery, but now this time in first machinery we sold some part, right? So we'll write what? By depreciation. Okay, now we are following original cost method. We are having 3 machinery, third one, second one, and a part in first one is still left. So we charge depreciation only on the part which is left, not on the whole machinery. So depreciation on the whole machinery was applied on 1,20,000, but now we are having only machinery of 1 lakh rupees. So we'll calculate depreciation on that 1 lakh only, and that will be 10% we are following now. So 10% of 1 lakh will be 10,000 rupees for the whole year, right? On second machinery, 50,000 10% will be 5,000, and third machinery 25,000 10% will be 2,500. No confusion, and the total depreciation will be 17,500. Now we have charged depreciation, so we can close the account and find the closing balance. But this time finding the balance could be a little bit difficult, but not that much difficult. See, firstly let's try to find the balance of second and third machinery. Finding balance is easy, just need to deduct this depreciation from the present value or the opening value. So 5,000 is the depreciation on second machinery. Opening value was 42,500. So if we deduct 5,000 from 42,500, we'll get a value of 37,500. Plus third machine is correct value was 23,125. Deduction is 2,500. Right. So how much current value will be? See, calculating the closing value of second and third machinery was easy because they are still in our business. But with first machinery, the point is the opening value of 96,000 is there. We cannot deduct this depreciation 10,000 from 96. Why, sir? Because this is the value of the complete 1,20,000 now, and from that complete we sold a part of 20,000. So we need to deduct or remove the current value of that machinery which is sold. And if you remember, the current value of the machinery which was sold on 1st April was 16,000. So if we sold a machinery of 16 of current value from this 96 current value, so the remaining will be 80,000. We can say that on 1st April 2012, we were not having 96,000 but 80,000, on which we charge depreciation of 10,000. So now the value of that remaining part will be 70,000. Now see one thing. How we find the closing value 70? We did one simple thing. We have seen that 96,000 is the value on 1st April of the machinery of 120, and we sold a part of original cost of 20,000, which was having a current value of 16,000. So we deducted that 16 from this 96, and we got the 80,000 rupees of value on 1st April of the remaining machinery of rupees 1 lakh. There is one more way to find that 80,000. What is that? Very simple. 96,000 is the value of complete 1,20,000. Okay. So what will be the value of 1 lakh? Okay. And this will lead us to 80,000 minus 10,000, 70. So there are two ways to find that thing. Either you can, the way you found the value of that 20,000, same way you can found the value of that 1 lakh also. Or we are knowing the value of that 20,000, so we can deduct that value from this, and remaining will be the value of 1 lakh. Both ways is easy. Got my point? So this way everything is done. It was asked to prepare the machinery account for 3 years. So we have prepared that thing. The total will be same 1,61,625 for both the sides. Okay. So I hope this question is clear to you. We have seen what is the straight line method, how to calculate depreciation with the straight line method, how to prepare account. We have seen two questions also, one in previous class and one in today's class, where we are not selling the complete machine but a part of that machine. So there are some question which is remaining in this chapter, and that is question number 5. Question number 6 we have solved in last class, then question number 7, 8, 9 we have done, and question number 10. So question number 5, 7, 8 and 10 will be your homework, and in next class we will see another method.